Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 35 of Direwolf20's server play series. I'm hanging out with Prague and Quetzi. I know are on the server, and I think just Mysterious Ages and Prague are on TeamSpeak with us. How are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Hello.
I made the stuff to make a replicator. It was not easy. It was not easy or cheap for that matter.
I have no doubts on that.
Yeah, no, like, you need 3 teleporters, which each require, like, 5 diamonds each or something stupid, crazy. Like, it's a large number of things that you need. Because teleporters need glass fiber cables, which require energium dust, which requires, like, 4 diamonds per dust. So at the end of the day, pricey is probably the word I would use. But I've got a replicator, so that's cool. It should start draining quite a bit of power out of my MFE. I assume it has a large internal capacitor. Even though it's not actually running, it's just building up its internal capacitor here, so no big deal. We've got the mass fabricator's been running. We've been getting buckets of UU matter. I've kind of been turning it on now and again. I don't like to have it running all the time because it actually does drain a significant amount of power from my MFE when it's running, which is why I'd kind of like to start working on some solar power. I think that's pretty much why I started last episode building a rubber farm, which has been incredibly successful. As you can see here, I've got it pretty much maxed out. I'm glad I went with a small size rubber tree farm and did not go with a large one because there was absolutely no need. It rapidly filled up barrels and barrels of rubber. If we go downstairs, we will see barrels upon barrels of rubber. I actually have, I still have it set up where I have a double barrel full of rubber itself, and then I have a full barrel of resin, and everything's piped along over here to the extractor, and we've got the macerator making the dirt for me, and everything's running smoothly as I would like. My wood's a little bit low because I actually derped. I think last episode I had something set up here that was not correct, and none of the fertilizer was making it over this farm. But don't worry, it's fixed. So now we're in good shape. So that's where we're at. So I have plenty of rubber now. I would like to, though, possibly consider start doing things that would be cool to do. I'm thinking it's time to upgrade our storage, because I'm actually getting a little bit low. Like, I'm running out of room. I actually already upgraded this to a diamond chest, and it's rapidly filling up, as well as this one. And just, my crystals chest is filling up. My mob drops isn't that bad, but my miscellaneous blocks is getting full. My plants are getting full. Storage is rapidly becoming an issue, and I'm just running out of new places to put things. So I think it's time for Applied Energistics. Yeah, I think it's about time. Prague talked me into it. He said it was painful to watch me go through all my chests. So blame Prague.
You mean thank Prague?
You can choose to blame or thank Prague. I will leave it up to the viewers. But yeah, no, I definitely love Applied Energistics, as you guys know, so it's time for me to get started on it. So I think I should start planning out where it's going to go. So the main core of the AE system should probably live somewhere down here near a source of power. So either in my IC2 area, because it really doesn't need that much room until you get to the autocrafting piece, which does need a bit of room. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly where I want to house this thing. Back here, we've got obviously all my cool factorization stuff is in this corner. Buildcraft stuff is back here with tanks and tanks of stuff. I never did really look into how much energy and cost or how good of an idea it might be to generate IC2 power from biofuel, ethanol, but maybe I should. Because there's actually a direct way to do it now, and I'd like to actually check that out. Let me see, Industrial Craft 2. We've got a type of generator here. Oh, cool. They renamed the canning machine from canning machine to bottling plant. I believe it's called the semi-fluid generator. Outputs 8 to 32 EU per tick max.
Oh, IC2 can burn ethanol on its own?
It's meant to burn stuff like oil and fuel, so I can only assume it'll work with ethanol as well. But I have to test that. I actually haven't yet. But I've got this big ethanol storage, and I'm basically just voiding at this point saplings. I've got, 64 stacks of them, and any extra saplings go and get voided. I'm even using saplings to make dirt. That's like how silly it is, and I still have more than I need. So
Yeah, thanks for doing that in your video. Help me solve my dirt problem.
there's like people yelled at me. They're like, "Dyer, you're voiding dirt in your mining system, and then you're making dirt in the same episode. Like, what's wrong with you?" And I'm like, well, like the small amount of dirt I would get is not conducive to like relying on it. Like, I needed an auto dirt creation system, and once I had an auto dirt creation system, I no longer needed to keep the dirt I was getting from mining. So there's my defense.
It's fully independent.
Yeah. Alright, so let me start planning out, guys, where I want to build my main AE system, where I want to build my auto crafting thing, because we know that's going to be pretty big. It's going to be expensive, but hopefully I've got the stuff for it. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, I'm complaining about having not enough room in my storage area, so, I mean, like, hopefully I've got enough resources to get going on this. How am I for crystals? Yeah, we're doing pretty good on the Certus quartz stuff, so I guess we'll see what happens. Alright, guys, I will be right back. Alright guys, this back area here seems like as good a place as any. I just need to, cover it up so that there's not enemies around trying to kill me every way I look. But, aside from that, I think it should be pretty good. Oh, I love the Builder's Wand. Oh, it's the greatest thing ever. Combine that with the Wand of Equal Trade, and you got yourself a room. Marvelous. Haha, that's so cool. I love it. Alright, done playing. Let's actually build some stuff. Alright guys, we know the routine here, right? So let's get started. I'm going to need a couple things. First off, I'm going to need at least one diamond to get us started with the ME controller. So let's just get this thing hooked up to power first. Real basic, right? So the first thing I'm going to need, I started cooking up some silicon. Oh, I just got a bunch of them. That's okay. That'll work. So you,
User joined
and this
channel.
guy. Yeah, that's what I need. Hello, user. Who's that, Neptune?
Hello.
Oh, Neptune and Abar. What's up, man?
Not much.
Hanging out.
Yeah, basically. I got bored sitting alone in my channels, my people who never talk.
All good, dude. I'm just starting with some AE stuff. I've got an ME controller. Beautiful. So what I think I'm going to do is, first off, get myself some of you and some of you. 11 might be enough copper gold cable. We'll see. Worst case, I just, make some more gold. Cool. So there's my gold cable that comes in from my main power line, right? That connection right there is hooked up to the replicator that I just placed. And it's already filled its internal buffer, which is good. So let's just pull it straight down, shall we? I'm thinking like right here. Might be a good way. And then we can place our ME controller right there. Cool. Energy stored. Nice. Okay. Cool. Alright, so it'll continuously store energy. Right now it's only using 3 EU per tick. That's not bad. Alright, that's phase 1. We've got the beginnings. We're probably going to want to have a disk drive and at least one disk so we can start making stuff. And we're also going to want an interface to interact with. So let's get those going next. Alright, so a little bit of crafting later. And we've got our first ME drive. Now we're probably going to need a few of these, so we might as well get them ready to be stacked up. Alright, so we'll just stack them straight up and down like that. No biggie. We'll also want to have our ME access terminal, which will go right there. Ta-da! Look at that! And then finally, we need somewhere to store the stuff, so here goes our ME 4K storage unit. Cool. So we should be able to start storing things now. Awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, ME, I've missed you. All right, so that's step one. Let's also configure this guy. So sort by number of items is usually what I like, and I want standard NEI synchronized, so that as I look up stuff, it synchronizes with AE. Cool. But it, I can also close the interface. It doesn't automatically jump to the search bar unless I click on it. Cool. All right, so that's phase one. We've got basic storage of stuff. One of the first things I want to jump into with it is autocrafting. So let's see how much of a nuisance it'll be to get an ME autocrafter going. All right, guys, it may be expensive, but I'm going straight for a decent-sized assembly machine. So I'm thinking like back in this area here. That'll do. Hopefully I counted right the number of things I need. Needed 2 stacks of gold and iron for this total, and half a stack. There's no way that I am off by 1. What did I do wrong here? Did I derp something up? Oh, there it is. I know I did something wrong. Forgot to pick that up. All right, so there we go. Awesome. So that's stage 1. Then we're going to need a lot of iron for the next set of stuff we need to do. So I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4. By 4 is 16 of this. So if I'm going to need 16 of these guys, then I'm going to need 64 iron and 64 iron bars. Okay, that shouldn't be too bad. Let me just make sure I get the correct number here. There we go. Yeah, this is already expensive. But don't worry, it's going to be worth it. Oh, I need a little bit more of this, I forgot. That's right, I need 6 sides, not 4. So I'm going to need a little bit more iron. Ah, I need more ME cabling. Alright, I'm sure I can manage that. Just a little bit of you. And yeah, I have glass downstairs, but this is probably faster.
Dyer's worst enemy, the staircase.
I know, I'm not a fan of it.
BRB adding Ender staircase.
Woot! Please do. Needs more iron. Okay, and while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and make the crafting CPU, which doesn't seem all that bad. I'm going to need 4 of those, and I'm going to need not just the crafting CPU, I also need the ME storage thingy for this thing. Alright, I'll be back once I've got it all built. Okay, next up, we've got to fill this thing in, so you guys go down here. We'll put our crafting CPUs in the back. It doesn't really matter where you put things, of course. Our pattern providers in the front. And if I did all this correctly, multi-block. Nice. All right. So we're getting there. We're getting there. We're going to need a applied energistics. We need the pattern encoder, which just requires a conversion matrix, which I even have one of, and a crafting table. And that guy doesn't even require energy or anything, so that's really good. Kind of put him right there, I think. That'll work. Cool. All right, we're really getting somewhere now. Nice. Let's start teaching it something that is going to be a nuisance to make. We're going to need quite a few ME storage drives, right? So let's get started working on that. I'm going to just start with the basic patterns here, right? So first thing we're probably going to want to teach it how to make is the ME blank pattern. So let's see what that is. So it's glowstone, certus, iron, and glass. Certus, glowstone, iron, and glass. Now, I know some people say you can like shift click into the table here. A lot of people leave those comments in my videos at that time when I started doing this, but I just want to show you that's not really the case. If you have NEI, it's either plugins or add-ons, I always forget which one does it, you can do that, but without that being installed on the server, it's not possible. So unfortunately, no, you can't shift click recipes in here. You do actually have to come down and encode them. So keep that in mind. So let's actually craft one of these to store the pattern on. That would probably be smart. So one of those. Encode. That's kind of always my first pattern typically. So now, provided that we have pretty much everything we need in the system, all I have to do is hook up the power line to it. Let's try and run it under the floor a little bit. I can facade these, by the way, so I probably just will. Ta-da! Linked up, ready to communicate. Make me, I don't know, 3 of them. Awesome. That's cool. I love it. It's probably waiting on a few more of those things. We should probably get one of those crafting monitors so that we know where it's stuck. So that's just one of those, huh? I am short on iron and glass at this point. Good, I do have some iron. We're getting there, guys. I should probably get a crafting terminal going too. I already have the access terminal. Can I just get one of these going? And just a crafting table. Cool. So I'll grab you. We'll turn this into a crafting one just because it's nice to have the crafting thing anyway. Let's do that now. Crafting terminal, go. And I'll probably wind up having more of these up in my base laying around in different places. And then crafting monitor can go right there. Synced up, ready to go. Awesome. We'll make sure this is set to NEI synchronized standard. You're showing me that I'm currently missing certus quartz, so if I throw another one in there, it should autocraft the ME blank pattern. Perfect. Nice. Alright guys, we're back, and I'm just setting up a few more things. For example, how to make a basic storage cell. That's what you would need for the 1K, but I'm not even going to bother with that. I rarely ever do. But I will get, 1, 2, 3 of these. I think it's, what do we get? It's this one's the 4K storage segment. Glass in the middle. That's right. And then redstone all around. Cool. That's how you get a storage segment, which is going to be needed for the 4K. That's this guy. And then finally for 16K, we need something like this. Glowstone, diamond, and glass. Cool. So that'll teach this thing how to make what's needed for a 1K, a 4K, and a 16K. And then finally what I'm going to do is also teach it how to make the... I'm not going to teach it the 16K yet, but I will teach it a few 4Ks. So it's just this guy, these... this, and this. So the only thing I haven't taught it at this point, I guess, is how to make like the components here. So that gets me the 4K storage pattern, right? Yeah. No, wait, that is 1K, isn't it? Did I do 1K? Oh yeah, I did do 1K storage. Meant to do 4K. I always forget how these things are laid out in NEI. Basically just want to do this. I don't think I'll waste my time with 1K, so I'll just reset that guy. There we go. And you can have him back. So that's the 4K storage. That looks better. Nice. So if I wanted to be real fancy about it, I should be able to just come right over here and just say, hey, give me a 4K storage cell. And what are you missing? Redstone and glass. That's all. Boom and boom. Hooray! More storage. Beautiful. Alright, so now that we've got a little bit of storage going on, I'm debating if I want to partition my disks or not. I'm thinking it's really not even worth the effort. Like, sometimes I do, and like, if you really want to be manic about it, like, you can, right? Like, you can partition your disks, and you can determine, like, you know, store certain things on certain disks, but at the end of the day, it just becomes a hassle, and that's usually what I come down to about it. So let's, you know what I'll do is I'll set up an ME import bus, and I'll just start carrying chests down. How's that sound like a plan? Okay, so let's get ourselves an ME import bus, actually. I'm probably going to need some of that stuff I just threw away into here. Cool. There we go. Get all my stuff back. ME import bus requires... We don't want the basic one because I can only do one at a time. Precision should be fine, so I'm just going to need one of these, which I've got. And then a basic is the ME interface. Don't think I have any more conversion matrices. So let's get them. And pretty soon I'll be able to automate this a little bit. So that's that. So I am going to need one more of these. Get him cooked. Oh, I look forward to the point when I have a fully automated AE system. I'm already hating running around. Sticky piston. I have pistons. And I have slime balls. There we go. So let's get our stuff here first. Let's grab our portal gun. Just because I don't know how well this will work, we'll get, yeah, dusts and gems. That sounds like a good plan. I'm just not sure how well this will work going down the elevator, and I don't want to mess with it too much. But what I'll do is set this guy up like so. Hey, get back here. Nice. Basic import bus. All right, I need to upgrade that to precision. Precision will allow me to change it to stacks of items at a time. And that should rapidly dump out this chest. Ha! Beautiful. All right. While that's emptying, I'll go grab my other chest I have tons of stuff from. You should be done, so I'll just put you in place. Clear it out. Nice, right? While that's happening, I think I'm going to go make sure that my quarry is still running, and I'm going to disable this thing, because I do want it to continue to accumulate stuff here, but I don't want it to try and auto-sort, because at this point we should not be auto-sorting into our main chests. My quarry I definitely need to run, because I'm almost out of iron and gold, and actually Certus quartz. So pretty much everything that was required to make a good AE system, I am almost out of. So I need to definitely make sure this thing is running. So what's going on down here? Are you ready to be moved yet, or do you just need to be... Yeah, you're pretty much ready to move, I think. I'll take this. I always snag uranium one in if I find it. I do need more iron, but I'm not going to mine a bunch on camera for you guys. He says as he mines. See, lots of iron down here I'll get. Let's just flip this thing around. Oh, I've got a speed upgrade here. Let's clean up my inventory a little bit. For the moment, I'll just put this down just so I can move this stuff around. So it's real easy, basically. All we got to do, and I probably should have done this properly the first time, but when it's time to move this thing, what I should be doing is keeping the main pipeline of Essentia tubes down the center. And then when it's time to move it to the other side, I just take my wand, flip it like this. Oh yeah, see, his auto bore's not even broken yet. Cool. Grab these guys, move them to the back. And then hook up their Essentia tubes. Nice, right? So it's as easy as that to flip my bore to the other side. Now when I finish this wall, I'm going to probably face it this way so I can start heading down the path because I don't have enough room anymore. So I just, rotate it again, face it forwards, and we clear that path out. Should be pretty good. So yeah, I'll let this guy run, and I'll keep an eye back at the base. Also, good news, I found out something. I spoke to Mythian. He was actually on vacation for a little bit. That's why I haven't seen him in a while. But check this out. Remember the Ars Magica Arcane Reconstructor here? I found out that it is a bug that it's not eye-sided aware. So he has a patch already to fix this. So once we get the new version of Ars Magica 2 on the server, I should be able to fully automate the bore and no longer have to wait for the broken iron pick to land in the ender chest here. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I might even, just because I can, start using my normal amethyst pick because I, at this point, have enough of this redstone cinnabar stuff. I think what I'll do... Are you done already? Yes. So you're sitting in there. I'm not going to use Silk Touch right now. Soren was all about Silk Touch. I want to stick with Fortune because I want to make sure that I get as much Certus Quartz as possible because that's really what I need at this point is more Certus. So we're going to get more Certus, I believe, with Fortune 3 than we would with Silk Touch and pulverizing and macerating it. So we'll let this run. I'm going to do a little bit of manual mining to get myself a bit of iron and gold and maybe even more Certus if I run into it. And then we'll be right back. Alright guys, so I've managed to make 2 more 4K storage units, not too bad. For the most part, we've been running out of, well, mostly types, so that's why it's a good thing I'm going with the 4K thing. Normally, like, if you ran out of bytes used, it would mean that you're not storing, in the right size thing, but if you run out of types used, then you're doing pretty good. You could have even snuck it down to 1K, but I think the 4K is pretty good when you have a lot of different types of items. So far, so good. Just grabbing stuff and bringing it down. Looks like I did test the elevator thing. It's not bad. It works pretty well. I thought it would. I just wasn't 100% sure, so I wanted to play it safe. But we might already be running out of storage. So at this point, I'm pretty much out of quartz. I'm out of Certus. I'm out of gold. I'm out of iron. I'm out of a lot of things. I'm not going to lie to you. See? That thing gets wonky. How that got in there, I couldn't even begin to tell you. But it did. And this thing might even be running out of types already. Yeah, see? Filled up the chest again. So what I'm going to need to do between this episode and next is a lot of mining. Mostly for gold, iron, Certus, and nether quartz. So my mining rig down in the downstairs area, let's go check on that, which I've switched back to the fortune pick mode because I want to make sure it continues to mine Certus quartz and quartz dust as efficiently as possible. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. Look, there's already some gold right there. Cool. We hit like a nice patch of water here that it's just mining right through. Not a problem. Cool. So we're doing well. Quickly and rapidly burning through this place. I like it. And this thing is staying on top of things, right? Good. Yeah, we're good here. Cool. One thing I should alter, which I noticed and I wanted to flip next time I came down here, was we're getting a lot of cobblestone now instead of not cobblestone, smooth stone. So let's add cobble to the filter for trash. There we go. Now any cobble we get will be trashed instead of sent back to my base and trashed, which is what was happening. Off it goes. I still had the filter back here for cobblestone, so it's not like I was, storing it, but that way just saves effort, right? So I think that's what I'm going to have to do. So I'm going to go right now to the nether. We have tracked down the bug with dimensional crashing, didn't we, Prog? Prog's like, yes. Alright, guys. So for now, this is Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you've enjoyed the episode, and take it easy!